What's up? Matt from Fab here. In today's video, I'm going to be fitting some new equipment into the Mini. First up, we've got a new camera system going in, which is the AIM Smarty Cam Dual. It's a camera system and a data logger. So essentially you can use this as like a standalone data logger, connect your ECU into it and use it to log everything whilst filming, to use as a training tool or to monitor the performance of the car, etc. I'm mainly using it just for the camera side of things because the AIM PDM that I have already has the data logger on that as well. So most of these AIM cameras are data loggers and cameras. That's why they come in considerably more expensive than a camera. This one actually has the ability to live stream as well. It's got a live streaming output, so that could be something that could be a bit of fun for the future. So we got the main unit, which is a really nicely made piece of kit with a proper pre-terminated motorsport spec wiring harness. Then you got two bullet cameras, a main view and then a secondary view. You got your memory card goes in the side where you can record everything, and it records everything onto that memory card. All your engine data, track data, video, the whole lot goes onto that one card. So you can just take the card out and then transfer that onto your laptop and use Race Studio 3 to then process it all. These are the two little bullet cameras. You can get different angle variations on these if you want more of a wide angle view. I've got two 84-degree lenses, and then I've got these nice little roll cage mounts which are adjustable so that I can play around with different positions of the camera and just change it up every now and then to make things interesting. For me, the main benefit of this sort of setup is having all the data overlay on the screen. I think it adds another element, makes the videos a little bit more interesting when people are watching the track stuff, and this unit has a lot more options for what you can display on the screen. So it comes with a pre-wired harness. I've just put a little Deutsch plug on the end of the power supply plug, which you can see there. That's the plug for connecting to your computer, so you can download through that or do any programming that you need to do. So I need to find somewhere to mount that, and it's basically just plug and play. So this is the ACC3. This is kind of like an expansion for adding some pressure sensors so that I can add brake pressure, so that you'll be able to see how hard I'm braking, and also I can track if I'm braking efficiently. So what that little unit does is converts the pressure signal into a CAN signal that the camera or the PDM can read, and just gives you a pressure value. So not only will I have brake pressure in terms of being able to see how hard I can brake, because I've got front and rear, so I can actually see the exact brake balance I'm running as well. So this is the setup for the sensors. I've just teed into the front and rear brake line, and it's as simple as that. And there's all different ranges of sensors for anything you want to be adding to this system. So I found a nice little spot for this plug. Just needed to make a little aluminium washer to be able to fit that in there. So this is the ACC3 wired in, so it comes with that little harness there, which has 4 inputs for sensors, and then that little box converts those 4 signals into a CAN signal, which then you can connect directly into any of the units, whether that's like a lap timer or the camera, or for my setup it all connects directly into my PDM, and I've got 2 spare ports there, so I can add another 2 sensors, or another whatever I might want to add at a later date. And that then just plugs directly into my can expansion, which is there. So I've filled that up now with the accessory port for the sensors. I've got the wideband lambda, I've got the camera, and I've also got the GPS unit. But I think I've got enough technology in the car for the minute. Might not be the fastest car on the grid, but it's got to be one of the most high tech, I would imagine. And then I can hide all of that stuff under my little footrest. One of the most difficult things about wiring and adding stuff to it is trying to keep it all looking neat when you start adding things at a later date. Be nice to always do it right first time and put everything in you need straight away, but I don't think that's ever really realistic. So I did spend a lot of time routing wires and just trying to keep everything looking neat and tidy, which I think I've done. Everything's very accessible, and the reason I've sat the camera sort of 90 degrees like that is just so that that plug and cable is out of the way, and those aren't going to get hit or knocked when I'm climbing in and out. So that just seemed like the best way to do it. And I've got plenty of room there as well for the fire extinguisher system, which has still got to go in yet. You got a little display on there which I can see easily, and quite happy with that. So I've got one bullet camera facing straight out the back window, and these little mounts are really solid. They are not going to move whatsoever. And then I've got quite a lot of extra length on the cables as well, so if I do want to play around, move them around, there's enough excess to put them anywhere in the car. So yeah, pretty simple installation in terms of the mechanical part of it. I've got this just stuck to the battery casing that I made there with double-sided foam. It's really strong. You'd never sort of pull it off. You have to cut the foam, but it just gives it a bit of dampening against vibration. And yeah, that's that bit of it. So you can see the camera's up and running, and now just need to configure everything and get it set up exactly how I want it to work. So we'll move over now to the laptop side of things, and I'll show you how you get all the information that you want showing on the screen. I've added an Anderson plug there as well because it was difficult getting the jump pack leads on the battery, so that will help for if I need to jump start it or charge it. Let's show you how you get this up and running then. So if you've already got an AIM device like a dash or a PDM, some kind of logger, then this is going to be a lot easier. I've already got it up here, Smarty Cam 3 Dual. All you have to do is click New Configuration, and there's every AIM device on here that you could have. So click Smarty Cam 3 Dual or whichever camera you've got, and then it's going to bring it up for you here. You can see I've already got this set up with everything that I want to display on screen, and I want to try and get as much information on there as possible just to make the track day videos a bit more interesting. It just gives people something else to look at, something else to keep an eye on. Engine information here, lap times here, I've got the little G-force thingy jigger there, brake pressure here, throttle position, RPM, mile per hour, that stuff here, track map, secondary cam. So there's a lot of stuff there. You've got to tell it where it's going to pick up each signal from. So as we're connected to the AIM master, which is the PDM, that's either going to be signals from the ECU, a CAN bus signal from the ECU, or sensors that we've added in. As you know, we've just added the brake pressure sensors. So I have to come back into my PDM, CAN bus expansions, and you can see these are what I've got added. This was my wideband that I added last week, if you happen to watch that video. and I've got my accessory 3 thing here. So this is turning my 4 analog channels, which are my sensors, into a CAN bus signal. And all I have to do to set these is pick the channel, and then I get the option to select the sensor that I want. I'm using an AIM one, so you literally just pick it off a drop down menu. If you were using a factory sensor, or you would, I don't know, you bought a Bosch one or something, if you come up here, you can actually create your own sensor the same way that you would program a sensor into any ECU, etc., where you just manually put your values in. So the option's there for that if you need it, but because I'm using all the AIM stuff, it's very plug and play. I've got front and rear brake pressure added here. So once this is set up, when I go to my Smarty Cam stream, so this is everything that is streaming out to the camera now, you can see brake pressure is coming through my ACC3 there. Got lambda coming through my LCU1S here. So everything I'm adding is getting added onto this list, which can then be sent out to the camera. So when we come back onto here, I've got different options for, you know, different styles of what I want to have displayed on the screen. There's complete dashes if you want to have a whole dashboard. So you pick something you want on screen and then you just assign it to something. So if I click CAN protocol, that's going to give me any of the options that you saw in that drop down list that's coming through the CAN bus. If I go to lap channels, it's going to give me anything lap time related. If I go GPS, it's going to give me anything GPS related. And it's as simple as that, really. When you have it connected already to an AIM device that you've got previously set up, it is very easy. If you are using this standalone, you would just select this standalone option here. You can see all my information that I've added has now disappeared because it's not receiving the CAN signal from the PDM. I would then have to come over here to ECU stream. I would have to pick what ECU I'm using, and then you would have to wire it to a CAN high and low to your ECU, whatever that ECU might be, and then you would get all that CAN information from your ECU rather than your AIM device. And yeah, that's pretty much should be up and running now. Okay, so here we are, up and running, and looks like everything seems to be working as it should. No, it doesn't. The battery voltage is reading 3.9, so that's obviously not correct, so that would just be something that I haven't set correctly. We're not reading any speed either, and that's also reading kilometers an hour, so that's wrong as well, but it's obviously just little things. Brake pressure's working there, throttle position. So yeah, I can obviously play around with this and get everything how I want it. I'll probably move those dials around a little bit as well, but I think it looks good. The rear view mirrors definitely adds a bit of something to it, and all this information, I like having it on there. So yeah, happy with that. I'm off to Thruxton in a couple of weeks to give the car a run around there, and I've made some changes with the gear selector as well. It does feel a little bit better, but I won't really know until I get it on track to try it properly. But so just want to say a massive thanks to AIM for sponsoring the builds. Having all this tech in the car is not something I thought I'd ever have in there, to be honest, and it really does take the level of the builds up to another notch. So yeah, I do really appreciate it. So if you want to check out any of the AIM products, all the links are in the description box of the video. That's going to be it for this one. Cheers for watching. See you on the next one.